Hi there, welcome to Building a Podcast, and we are here today with our esteemed guest, Matt Mellish. Thank you so much for being here, Matt. Hey,
Thank you for
and I
having me.
am,
It's a pleasure.
yes, it's so wonderful to have you here. I am Obi-Wan Kenobrix, and we have also our two usual hosts, Maticus Bricks and Brick
What's up?
Chef.
Hello.
Yeah, pretty awesome. Today we're actually all here in the same place again, which it has been a number of weeks, probably since our second episode, that we have all been on the same episode together. So it's a very exciting reunion. You'll also notice that we have our Building a Podcast swag on, our shirts. So these shirts are available along with some other ones. Yeah, that one looks a little different on yours, Mr. Mellish.
Didn't get our
I
memo.
didn't get
Come
the
on.
memo.
Yeah, sorry about that. That's a faux pas. But yeah, these are available through our shop, and if you go to our link tree or our beacons, I apologize. The shop link is in there, so feel free to pick up one for the whole family. We also have hoodies and things like that, and mugs. So good time to shop for those kind of things.
The holiday season is coming.
Yeah. It's the holiday season. Sorry. Okay.
Nothing says I love you like Building a Podcast mug.
Yes, exactly. So on the docket for today, we have some exciting news to share in our news segment, which Ethan will be covering momentarily. And then we will jump right into our interview segment since we have such a wonderful guest here today. So let's go ahead without any further ado and provide you our news.
Yes, getting right into the news. Yet again, another busy week reveals. So let's just... Nope, not yet.
Oh, bam. Yeah. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
We'll get right into...
You are the news.
So,
spoiler on that.
Go ahead. We have a newly revealed set. It is the Eiffel Tower. Lego has now been doing a very large-scale icon set every year on Black Friday now. This is the third year consecutively that they'll be doing this. And this year we have the Eiffel Tower, which will be the new largest Lego set. It's coming with 10,001 pieces. What are your guys' thoughts on this off the bat?
I love that it had to be 10,001.
Yeah, right?
I know.
It's the brick separator.
Exactly. It's really...
Oh, man. Well, I think that the elephant in the room on that is it is definitely like very large is the understatement of the year. How tall is that, Ethan?
It comes out to 58 inches, which is just under 5 feet. I think it's like 4'8", I think.
I mean, I know people shorter than that. I mean, jeez.
Yeah, it's
well,
So yeah, there's the measurements for it. So almost 2 feet at its base. And I think its base is made of road plates. I think 5 by 5 road plates. So if you have road plates, you want to see if you have room for it. There's how you can do it. Just arrange 5 by 5, and that's how big the base of it's going to be.
Massive.
I'm trying to figure out how you would display this, to be honest. Like,
I mean,
you get a coffee table.
A lot of the promotional pictures are like, it's just on the floor. Like,
that was my favorite. Yeah. It's like by the fireplace. He's walking by. Oh, what is that?
I mean, I'm not even putting it on that coffee table because, like, I'm going to, where do I put my coffee? It's going to spill. I'm going to completely ruin this beautiful, expensive, extravagant set.
Yeah, I mean,
it feels like I'm sorry. It feels like in these photos as well, like they are looking for a place to put it. Even in the video that Lego posted, because they have it like on the coffee table where he built it. They have it by the fireplace that's clearly never had a fire in it. They have it by the back door in the video. It's like some kid is going to open that door up and it's just going to go flying.
10,001 pieces all over the floor.
I don't think this is a set for people who have children.
No.
Or pets.
Yeah.
Or any dead.
Imagine dusting that thing.
We'll see what my cats do with it, because I'm definitely going to get it.
I'm just picturing recreating like that scene in Despicable Me where he's like, "We stole the Eiffel Tower, the small one for Vegas."
Yes,
it's kind of like
please
your
make
own
that a TikTok.
Vegas Tower.
I do want to say, aside from all of the impracticalities of it, it really is a feat and a testament of what the brick is capable of.
It's
just
incredible.
As much as the actual Eiffel Tower was a feat of architecture, I think it's a real landmark for what Lego has become.
It is a 5 feet, actually, I think, right?
Yes.
I mean, this set is absolutely gorgeous.
It's remarkable.
It looks It's probably not going to be very fun to put together, but
I don't know. I mean, I think that looks interesting. But let me just ask this: like, could any of you, as a kid, you know, looking through your Lego magazine or whatever, could you have imagined this was coming as an adult?
No.
Like,
Such a good point.
No.
Such a good point.
Especially because it physically wasn't even possible then.
It differs so much from the first one too. Like the first one was so blocky, whereas this has a lot of like structural, architectural detailing. I am surprised by the lack of Technic. I mean, you can see where there is some in order to connect the 4 pieces together that make up the full tower, but those beams don't even connect to anything.
Yeah, even then, it just looks like it's resting, and they just rest over on top of each other, each piece.
Well, it's like there's so much exposed on it with the like the girders or whatever you want to call those. It's like you would see all that, I feel like. So
yeah, I mean, it's a
really
lot of
impressive.
like just like plate, just like 1 by plate, and like bars and like
that
bar
tapering.
connector pieces. Yeah, and
How
it's
it goes
just
up at the
done by
top.
it's that. Gosh, I'm really bad with technical part names, but it's the clip piece with the circle at one end, so it can bend in different directions.
Now it's looking to me like a lot of those aren't locked into place by anything. Now, does this go from being, you know, a really messy display to being perfect if you have your bar alignment off by just a little bit?
I guess that's gonna be a question for when we put it together, huh?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like 1 by 1 tiles. But this you can't make clean with a brick separator or anything like that.
Right.
I'm just noticing the roller coaster.
The underside.
Track.
Did they use a roller coaster? They did.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
Track right there.
In that matte silver color. That is so amazing. So that's how they got the angular look to it. Yeah. I mean, that's right to my earlier point. Like, this was physically not possible to make something like this even 5 or 6 years ago because the pieces didn't exist. A lot of them. The way they've added these new elements, it just makes so much more possible. And anyone who says, like, why do they keep on adding new elements? I mean, this is why, because it expands exponentially the number of options you have and their ability to be creative.
Absolutely.
I just don't know, like, I think this is the problem for a lot of people too. For myself, you know, we have such big Lego collections, and there comes a point where there's not enough space for it all. And this would certainly take up a lot of room. And
Oh yeah.
It's like, do I put it on the floor? It seemed hard to like put on a table. It has to have its own place, much like the Falcon.
Or the gunship, so wide with the wingspan on it.
Yeah. So I'll ask this: you're a new part of land, Matt. Is this something you want them to send to you?
So this is not something that I would build on my own. And being that you've graciously brought up that I have in fact been inducted, I would love to get more sets that I wouldn't buy like offhandedly, just to like get a feel for it and give people an accurate review. Like it would be really cool to receive. I haven't, and I probably won't unless I like use it with the additional support that they give me. It would be really nice for someone like you to review though and give people an accurate, like, definitive answer as to what your thoughts are, because it seems like a daunting build. It seems repetitive. It doesn't necessarily look like it would fit in a room well, but until you have it in hand, you're not going to know those answers.
Yeah, no, exactly. I definitely agree. I mean,
I'm very curious on stability. Yeah.
I'm definitely going to try and pick it up as soon as I possibly can.
Nice.
Obviously, Lego sets are not cheap, and that one is not cheap.
And
I've been getting a lot of expensive ones lately. I got the Star Destroyer recently because I needed it before it retired, and then I didn't want to wait to get the Razor Crest just because I liked it so much. So it's definitely, I'll be getting it as soon as I can.
Well, I can't wait to see the video on it. Your build video for the Razor Crest was really enjoyable. I can't wait to see like your follow up on that with the more detailed stuff.
Oh yeah, because
I mean,
with those big ones, you have to split it up like that because there's no way to show everything that's going on with the
yeah.
finished product and adequately show what's going on in the build in just like one video, because TikTok, limits you. So
Yeah. Well, you don't want to compress down like 10 hours of work into 30 seconds. It'll look like
yeah,
a blip,
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking that the biggest challenge for you filming the Eiffel Tower build is going to be positioning your camera in the right place so that you
Fitting
have
it
it
in the
so you
frame.
don't have to move it further back after it gets built. I mean, you're going to start out and it's going to be up close, and then you keep getting taller and taller. I don't know.
I think the advantage I'll have is that it looks like you build it in chunks. I'm imagining they're going to do something like they did with the Titanic, where there's the 3 internal boxes that do the 3 different parts of the ship. And that worked to my advantage with the Titanic, because it was like I have to get one shot at the end where I connect all 3 of them, but I can build each individual part. They're still really large, but it's small enough that it'll fit in. But I know I'm already like horrified of like how I'm gonna have to film that, because like it's just so big. Because every time
So
the
complicated.
Titanic was such a fiddly thing, and the Star
It's a
Destroyer was
monster.
really hard to do, and then they just keep getting bigger. So it's like every time I think that I've figured out a way to adequately accommodate something that large, they just like make it even bigger.
You might need a fisheye lens for this one. I don't know.
Oh,
Definitely a wide angle at least.
yeah.
we need a
Holy
drone in
cow.
the air, just like.
That's right.
I have a
Outdoor
question for you
reveal.
guys.
Yeah.
Have you seen a little movie called When Harry Met Sally?
Yes. Yes, I have.
So, for those who don't know, Harry lives in inexplicably the most gorgeous apartment in all of Manhattan. And he's somehow in this penthouse suite. He has these huge arching windows, really high ceilings, and it's mostly empty. Like Harry's apartment is what I envision as the ideal space for this Eiffel Tower,
Yes.
because it's not a normal home. It's like you have this huge space, and it's like, yeah, that would look great on your mantle, like where the ceiling is still like 20 feet away.
Yeah.
The
Lego
but I don't
gallery
know.
room. Yeah.
You'd also need his Billy Crystal's money to afford this thing.
Oh,
so.
no kidding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Jeez, I'm curious. Is this something you've clearly said that you would like to buy it, Mr. Lego Chef, Mr. Brick Chef? I'm sorry, I'm still calling you by your former name. But Maticus and Obi-Wan Kenobrix, aka Thomas, would you like to buy this? Is this something that you would like to pick up?
If money were no option and I had a distinct place to put it, because I know it's definitely something that my girlfriend would really like, as huge and exorbitant as it is, and that maybe I would, can be able to convince her to have Lego on display in our future home this way. But other than that, no, I don't think it's something that I would personally buy just because it's not practical.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, having the orchids and the bouquets and stuff like that, and the skylines is how I've convinced my wife to, slowly allow Lego into the other parts of the home. Now we have the Friends Central Perk and the apartments and the Fab Five loft and the dining room, and it's still growing a little bit, quietly moving and creeping. But yeah, given the opportunity for the Eiffel Tower, I of course wouldn't, pass it up. But it's not, it's really more like a practicality issue for me, as I think we've all kind of expressed to a degree there. I'm just casting around, and I can't imagine a place that I would safely and like adequately display it. I mean, I want to do it justice. I don't want to like stick it in the corner, or like build it and then, put it in the closet, So like, where else can I put it? I don't know. So it's I feel like there are a lot of other sets that I want to prioritize prior to them being retired. And so, maybe if it's around for a few years, then I'll have the opportunity for it. But otherwise, I probably am just not going to be able to. But I'll be able to enjoy seeing other people build it, which is just, really nice too.
I'm really interested to see it on display at my Lego store, at the very least.
Right.
Same, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, where are they gonna put it?
Out in the middle of the mall.
Basically, yeah, exactly.
Right in the middle of the store. It has like its own
I
stand.
mean, who knows? Maybe.
It would kind of need it, yeah.
Beautiful set. But
yes. So I think that's enough Eiffel Towering for right now.
I guess, yeah.
We'll move into our second portion of the news for today. We're going to keep it a little bit brief, but VIP stuff. It's a big VIP Lego
Yeah.
extravaganza happening. So this weekend is going to be double VIP points. So that's going to be online and in store. Just do note that some products are occasionally excluded from the double VIP points, especially the very new stuff. So that may be the case this time around. They never have a specific list or anything. So just be wary of that. Then for gift with purchases, we have multiple, I guess they're doing early access gift with purchases now. So the VIPs are going to be getting early access to 3 gift with purchases during this weekend. So that'll pair perfectly with double points. The cheapest one you're going to be getting is a very interesting one. They've been doing more of these like non-Lego gift with purchases last month, or currently we have the coasters, but now we're going to have a baking set. So that is like a cookie tray and some cookie cutters, or a baking tray, sorry, and then cookie cutters. So it's a very interesting non-Lego gift with purchases. What are you guys' thoughts on that?
I love it. I want to make Lego cookies.
I know, right? And like little Lego cakes with the baking tray.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at that. Well, I like the cookie cutters. I feel like it's the exact same, and I want to see it in person, but I feel like it's the exact same as like the minifig accessory packs. You know?
Like
the little plastic part, which I
yeah.
saved all of them, of course. Now I can make like ice minifigures, you know.
I see people do that
yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
I had thought I had seen somewhere that the baking set was only available with certain purchases, but I'm not really sure. It doesn't specifically say.
Yeah, I mean,
like certain sets.
We'll find out.
Click
Well, but you should be able to
learn
tell when you add items to your cart, it should tell you if you qualify for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, this just brings us to a product page. So
yeah, it is something I would really like if they could, if it is available.
Definitely, yeah. It's kind of a little fun non-Lego part.
what are your thoughts, Mr. Mellish?
I like it. I like the blanket as well. I think it's fun to get other things that aren't just Lego.
Yeah, definitely.
But at the same time, like, I mean, that I feel like is something that a lot of people would like to just buy.
There you go. Yes, exactly.
Than pay $65 for it. At least that's my personal opinion. Like, if I'm looking to get a gift with purchase, it's gonna be for something that's like really unique. I like the duck, honestly, like something like that.
Yes, yeah.
But for just a baking set or just a blanket, it's like I think I'm gonna wait this one out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. I mean, I think there's definitely interest in the non-Lego, or non-building bricks type of items, like as evidenced from the partnership with Target last year. That was really cool. I don't know how well that fared, on the market there, but
everything's sold out at my stores. I couldn't get the things I wanted.
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
I think it was very
successful.
successful.
Yeah. I wish they would do that again.
I know.
Yeah, they might.
I have those coasters. Those are one of my favorite parts. And I have a couple of the mugs. I have one of the shirts. I think they're awesome. So I would like to see more, Lego stuff in IRL,
That duck is great, though.
So
That's
yeah,
really
we'll
cool.
get to that because it's more than just a duck.
So right.
But we'll stick with the winter elf scene. So this very much pairs with last year's Christmas gift. It was Santa's front yard. Very weird name, but it kind of matches that. So that's with 170. So if you're getting that one, you're automatically getting the baking set. And then I think the one with the most intrigue is this. So it's not just the duck. It is the full gift with purchase name is the Tribute to the Lego House. And this is with $250 or more. So the duck is just one of the 5 builds that it comes with. So these are all Lego House exclusive sets that you could only buy at the Lego House. These are full on sets, but these are mini builds of 5 of those sets.
So what do we have here?
So we have the duck, the brick molding machine, the Lego house itself. So there's a Lego architecture set of the Lego house. So there's a mini build of it. Then you have the tree of creativity, and then the dinosaurs.
Wow.
These are really, really cool. What are your guys' thoughts?
I mean,
definitely something. Yeah, definitely something for more of a like extreme hardcore Lego fan who's interested in knows what the Lego house is. I think we fall into that category.
Yeah,
that's why they're exciting.
I think that's why they priced it at that point as well for like that tier of GWP because the more cursory casual fan is not going to probably know what that is or why
Right.
that's significant. So pricing it at that higher tier, you have the people who are consistently buying Lego and are into Lego community and they're into all the stuff that is Lego and they're gonna know what that is and they're gonna be spending that much anyway. So
That's right.
that's my thought.
Yeah, I mean,
Manicus, right off the bat, you said you wanted it. What makes you so interested in it?
Because I love this company so much and everything that they've done. It is more than just a product for me. It was more than just a toy. It's more than just Star Wars. It's more than just Marvel. Lego is for me all encompassing. And this represents a place that I really hope to travel to someday, Lego House. And it has a lot of these features about the company's history, like the duck. So it really speaks to what I love as a fan. So I feel like it's something that makes me feel special, but it's unique as a Lego VIP. It feels exclusive.
Yeah,
Right.
I like that. Well said.
Thank you.
yeah, no, I want it just because I can't have those sets to begin with, so I'll take a mini one.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
agree.
I might
That's
have
I
a
one
good
of
know
those
point.
if I ever travel to the Lego house, I'm going to set aside a lump sum. I'm going to calculate it. And I'm going to
Yes.
buy as many of those exclusive sets as I can while I'm
Yes.
there.
Yep.
And-
Best
And then
way
give
to
us
do
all
it.
a discount on them.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Oh man.
All right. Moving right along. There's just some various things going on with VIP. There's this promotional set that you can get if you redeem the points. However, that's always a little finicky as you redeem it. And then it gives you a code, so you still have to purchase something to actually get
Mhm.
the reward from it. But I think the more notable thing, they don't really put it in big bold print, but there is a 5 times double VIP points offer happening right now. It is in store only, and it is from the 15th to the 28th of November, and it is applying to only certain sets. So you can get 5 times the VIP points you would normally get on the following sets: the Atari 2600, the Hogwarts Express Collector's Edition, the Loop Coaster, the Technic Ferrari Daytona, the Chevrolet Camaro, the Black Panther bust, the pickup truck, and then the Batman Batwing. Or the Batman Batmobile. Sorry.
Batmobile.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
that's pretty crazy.
that's
Quintuple
in-store
VIP
only.
points.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So, like, for example, like the Atari 2600, that's $260. If correct me if I'm wrong, but that roughly translates to about little less than $15 in VIP points. Times that by 5, you're looking at like $70 in VIP points.
It's
Yeah, that's
240.
not nothing.
Yeah, so a
But-
little bit less than like $12 in VIP
Right.
points. Times 5 is like $60.
I think for
Yeah.
the Hogwarts Express, it's about $100.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's
Yep.
crazy.
That's substantial. Yeah.
That's wild. I wonder if this is small print here at the end of the page, but I wonder if this is a direct relation to those sets not selling well, to there being somewhat of an overstock for them. I wonder what exactly inspired them to do this.
Yeah,
those specific
it's-
ones. Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't do any things like this very often because that's like a heavy buyback. And then it's willing to note as well, I don't know how to do it and I don't want to mess this page up because it looks nice for our live viewers. But within the VIP program, the Rewards Center, so the same place that you would go to redeem your VIP points for this promo, you can go and get discounts on all these sets. So it would be the equivalent to the amount of VIP points you would get from buying it in store. Instead, for literally like 100 VIP points, I can redeem an $100 off coupon for like the Hogwarts Express, and that I can use online. So they've seemingly done it on both fronts, just in like 2 weird different ways.
That's
Then
very
you're also
interesting.
getting double points off of what you do spend.
Yes, exactly.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Wow.
So lots of stuff happening with Lego right now. Very interesting.
Yeah, no kidding.
Interesting times for sure that we live in with Lego.
A
Oh,
good
yeah.
time to be
Yeah,
an
man.
a-hole, mostly.
It is. Yeah.
All
No,
right.
especially in the Brick Talk community.
Um,
Yes.
Speaking of, I just wanted to, hold this up quick since you guys said something about I'll probably never
Oh.
open that.
Ah.
Where'd you get that, Matt?
I have a contact who lives on the other side of the pond, so to speak. I'll
Wow.
let you use your
Hmm.
imagination as to who that is, but this mutual friend of ours was able to hook me up when they recently sold that set online.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah,
Well, that's cool.
Awesome.
but it's just one of those special things I had to get.
Yeah, I
That's
really
super
want the
cool.
architecture one. That's like at the top of my list.
Sounds really cool.
Yeah, that one is cool. The duck for me is one I would really like to have. This
I
for
want the
anyone
duck
who's
too.
anyone listening, this is the dragons. This is the dinosaurs.
Which
They
are
put
one
wings
of
on 'em.
the they are one of the builds that are depicted in the
They
gift
are.
of purchase.
Yep.
Yep.
So
pretty
see,
cool.
now you have to spend $250 so that you can find the mini build for that.
I was gonna
Yeah.
do it anyway, but
I was
it
gonna
just
say it's
makes
a done
me-
deal anyway. Yeah.
All right. So that's going to wrap up news for this week. A little bit shorter. I mean, short-ish, but we are
Short-ish,
going to
yeah.
be skipping over the element of the week, and we're going to be getting into our awesome guest, Matt Mellish.
That photo is like my senior photo in high school.
Just say, you look a little
do you,
young there.
do you want to know where I got that?
My Facebook?
I got it from your LinkedIn profile, actually.
Oh
my
my
god.
You stalker.
Oh.
You
On
know what? I
Facebook, it-
searched Google for Matt Mellish, and I was like, oh, that one looks good. Yeah.
That was before the beard. That was for my second wave of puberty, I think. On Facebook, it still feels like I'm dating my ex-girlfriend from high school. So
Oh my
don't go to my personal Facebook page. Go to my actual
Oh.
content creator page.
Yeah.
Yikes!
Jeez
Is all that
Louise.
stuff still there?
Yeah, I need to clean up probably at some point.
I can see that's a high priority.
Now that I'm in
Yeah.
the Lego Ambassador network, it might be time to go delete some posts. But
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
honestly, it sounds weird. I like keeping all that there. It sounds weird, but it doesn't bother me. Like, I'm way past a lot of things at this point in my life. And it's nice to look back and have that time capsule for where I came from. And now that I know where I am, like, I can compare the two. It's cool.
That's right. Very nice.
That's
Man.
pretty cool.
All right, so I think we're going to kick off our interview portion. This is going to be very Matt heavy. We're going to find out lots of fun stuff about Matt. We're going to start it off light and simple and basic. Matt, what is your favorite Lego theme?
Well, for me, it's pretty simple, but like, I don't know, might be more complex for other people. Clearly, with what is primarily most consistent in my collection, it's Star Wars sets. That's kind of where the passion for Lego came from in the first place, because I am always a Star Wars fan. Throughout the different phases that I've viewed Star Wars in my life, whether that be, as a kid watching the originals and prequels through the Clone Wars, and then now with the sequels and new Disney era Disney Plus series. So like when I'm a Lego fan, I feel like it's constantly fueled by also simultaneously being a Star Wars fan, and then vice versa. Like Lego feels Star Wars and Star Wars feels Lego. I do like Marvel as well. When they actually depict sets from the films.
Wow.
But
Burn.
that's because just like I'm an MCU fan. I never read the original Marvel comics. I'm not much of a comics fan. I'm a Star Wars comics fan. It's just like I only have so much time to be a fan for so many things.
Yeah.
Obviously I like Pirates of the Caribbean a lot too, and Disney. So those things weigh in for me. But like, now that I am in land, it would be nice to branch out a little bit, I think, and just kind of absorb other themes. Like, I picked up a couple classic space sets from Facebook Marketplace. Those rock.
Ooh.
Like, I
Yes.
enjoy the old stuff, the
So
retro
good.
stuff. So, a little bit of everything, but mainly Star Wars.
Nice. Well, can we drill it down a little further than that then also and say
For
if
it.
you had to pick a favorite set, do you have a favorite set? Whether you own it
So
or not, you know.
I'm gonna ask you to clarify on this one. So does it
Yeah.
does it have to be um for the model or like for what it means to me in my Lego journey? Because those are two completely different answers in my opinion.
What you know what? And actually that's kind of the answer that Maticus gave when we overviewed our top 10. So let's be a little bit more specific and actually say
Okay.
let's do each of those. So
Yeah.
what's
Oh
your favorite
boy.
overall
I
build?
want both.
But then like what's the most significant set to you? So we'll take, you know, part A first of like favorite build overall.
Right. I kind of self-sabotage myself with that one.
Ah.
But I think for build wise, you know, I have so many sets in my backlog that I know are going to like be up there for me. Trying to think honestly if there's anything that I've already built that I would say like would mash. I have the UCS Falcon in my backlog, the Disney Castle, the AT-AT, Star Destroyer. Like
Oh my gosh.
I have a lot of stuff that I have not yet built because of space issues and like me having moved around so many times in the past few years. Honestly, I really like my pirate ships. New wise, I think like the Guardian ship is definitely up there in terms of like the quality of the model for me
Mhm.
because it's a great price. It's the same like quality of a UCS set, just not blown up to proportion that it could be. I really like that set a lot. It was a fun build as well with all the different little details along the way. But for me personally, like the set that means the most to me is, I mean, you can kind of see it, but it's my Death Star. That's the original one,
Mhm.
not the remake. So when I was, oh, I think this was like 2008. No, probably after that. I can't remember exactly. Probably 2008, 2009. It feels so long ago. I can't believe it's 2023 almost.
Yeah,
But
I know.
I feel like an old man. But
Yeah.
back then, you know, it seemed impossible for me to want to spend $400 on a set, let alone earn that amount of money to be able to spend on a Lego set. And I can specifically remember this is also a big Lego regret for me, one of the biggest. So that if that was a question coming up, this will answer it. Um, I was sitting at my kitchen table with my Lego magazine opened up, and my mom is over my shoulder, and I'm showing her like, "Oh, I really want this one," and it's the dropship and ATOT for $250. And
Oh,
on the next
yes.
page is the Death Star, and she's like, "Well, this one, you know, it's a little bit more in price. Obviously, it's $400. Why don't you just save up for that one and get the either the biggest one in the catalog?" And I'm
Mhm.
like, my mom is telling me to buy the Death Star, like $400 Lego set. And I think her like goal in doing this was to kind of get me out of collecting. So by having the biggest thing,
That worked.
there's no more that he
That'd
could
be
ever
it.
want.
Yeah.
Why
well,
should
right?
he keep buying more? What's the point? And so I miraculously saved up for the Death Star, doing a lot of different things, including chores, emptying my couch cushions, etc., etc. And I learned the value of $1, and I finally did buy that set. And I can specifically remember, you know, wanting to wait to build it, like one bag a day. I would not go past that, no matter how much I wanted to. I
Some
sorted
self-control.
Seriously.
each bag. Like I wanted to get the most out of my money for it. But obviously, I really regret not buying the dropship in
The
ATOT at this point.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
Death
that
Star
one's gotten very
and
expensive.
we'll say Benatar or the Guardianship.
Great choice.
Nice.
Now, do you remember what first drew you to Lego? Like, how did you become Matt Mellish Lego fan?
Oh boy.
origin story here.
Well, I think
Well, there's a
Matt
radioactive
Mellish-
lab.
right, exactly. Well, I was on a
Got
field
bit
trip.
by a radioactive brick separator.
Yes, that's where I was going.
So I think Matt Mellish Lego fan and Matt Mellish are so tied together, like who I am as a person and my love for Lego and Star Wars and everything nerd, geek, etc. But I say that because when I was younger, I went to a Lutheran private school of 14 kids.
Whoa.
And so yeah,
Small
up until
class.
8th grade. Up until 8th
Wow.
grade. So it was really hard to like make friends in that group because obviously it's so small that if you don't like someone, you can't move on to the next person. And I didn't learn very many communication skills, just saying, out of that environment. But I was bullied as a kid, and my bullies in 1st and 2nd grade, they liked Lego and Star Wars. So ironically,
Oh, no.
I started liking it after they stopped liking it, and I was a little late to the party, but I kept it going since. So I would say, and we talked about this yesterday on Stud Buds, actually, ironically, but my first memory of Lego is being like in 1st or 2nd grade and having just this huge bin, and everybody in the class, at least the boys, because I think the girls were off playing house or doing something else, but the boys were building the sturdiest, the strongest Lego anything structures. It could be just like a regular like square, or it could have wheels, it could be anything, and creating a demolition derby where we would literally just like hammer them together, and whichever one was still standing by the end would win. And we broke a lot of bricks like that. Probably a lot of vintage bricks, because looking back, there were probably like some old castle stuff, some old space stuff in there,
Oh my
which is really
goodness.
hard to like think about now as an adult collector. But like back then, that was recess. That was a fun indoor recess for us.
Love that.
But like I went over to a friend's house who had Lego, and him and we were on good terms. Sometimes he would kind of like waver to the side of my bullies and kind of make fun of me. My friendships were what they were. They weren't super strong, but he wasn't a bad kid. He invited me over to his house, and he had a huge collection, and that kind of inspired me to like be interested. And then I got my first set when I was probably around 8 years old. I'm pretty sure it was like 2006. Yeah, when I got the ATRT from Revenge of the Sith, and I built that set, and I'm like, I need more. And the rest is history in terms of like my passion for collecting and the start of it.
Wow.
Nice.
So I think you kind of answered our next question. I'll just ask, did you have a dark age? Did you get out of it at any point, or?
Yeah. I mean, partially, not fully, because when I went into high school, I was kind of questioning a lot about my identity, being that I went from this small Lutheran private school to like, for me, a huge high school of 200 kids in my class.
Whoa.
What do you do? What do you do? So like, I was still collecting here and there. I was obviously still keeping up with Lego news. That never stopped. Neither in high school or college did I like get out of watching content. That was kind of its own part of my journey as well, because I realized that there was another community out there. It wasn't just for kids, even though my parents would have loved for me to stop buying things and spending money on plastic interlocking bricks. But, you know, although I might have taken a step back from buying throughout high school and college, because I was so busy as well, time-wise, I was like doing cross-country and track, musical plays. I was a theater kid in high school, can you tell? I was very busy in college as well, and I didn't have a lot of money because I was paying for college and working like 4 different jobs at a time. So now that when college ended and kind of the pandemic started, that was when I got back into it fully and started buying it again.
Wow. Awesome.
I think a lot of people had that experience, like you said. You know, the pandemic really did inspire a lot of people to get back into it fully. I think it drove me deeper into my hobby personally. It's a very relatable experience that you shared.
Right.
Yeah, I think
And
so
I think it
too.
was like that combined with social media at the time as well. Because
Mhm.
like as I started realizing that there was a niche for Lego on social, that's when like I could justify buying more and getting more into it.
Yeah,
Honestly, I think at this point I'm the biggest Lego fan that I've ever been in a sense.
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's awesome.
It's really good.
Well, it sounds like you kind of, I mean, the way that our questions are structured, really, you start telling these things and it really kind of answers themselves there. But, so I'm not going to ask what got you back into Lego
Sure.
because it really kind of, we went through that. But I
Right.
would like to know what got you started as a Lego content creator specifically. As those who are listening, Matt has a very large following. Specifically on TikTok, it's a what are you at now?
700 something.
700,000 something? Yeah.
730, something
Kind
like
of
that.
a
Yeah,
big deal.
yeah.
You may have
Kind of a
heard of
big
him.
deal. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of.
As seen on
Slightly,
TikTok. Yeah.
slightly notable man over here.
Yes.
The
So
numbers
yeah, big
are
on TikTok,
numbers.
big on Instagram, growing
That's
there
very
as
true.
well, and part of the Stud Buds group. So yeah, I mean, really, you're very vested in this community and in the social media aspect of Lego. So what got you started as a content creator then?
Oh, so I have to take a step back because it's hard to it's hard to explain the content journey without any context.
Mhm.
It's like this with like the dating world now for me too, because I'm single and ready to mingle, folks, but
Whoa!
like explaining to someone that like this is what I do, I have to start from like the origin of it. So when I was in college, my junior year, you'll see how this all connects in a second, I promise. I did the Disney college program, and I went and worked for Walt Disney World. I made magic in Walt Disney World for 7 months, my junior year of college, as a PhotoPass photographer, primarily in Animal Kingdom, which was
Mhm.
very exciting. My dream was to always work for Disney, so I did a lot of networking, and I kind of secured myself a position after I would graduate my senior year.
Mhm.
They actually took me on as a seasonal employee, so I held my employment. Then I went back, and the plan was all along, after senior year, to go right back down to Florida and keep working for Disney, working my way up the ladder or jungle gym, because that's kind of what Disney is, and it's a complex world. So,
Mhm.
of course, I graduated my senior year, 2020, and that
Sorry.
was when the the entire world changed. Um, I was on a trip to Canada, heard about this like bug that was going around, and when I came back, I realized like, oh crap, this is going to put a kink into a lot of my plans going forward. And so, of course, after everything started, I was furloughed, and then I saw the rating on the wall, and later was fired, just because like I knew this was going to happen. I was a seasonal employee. I didn't really hold much weight in the company, so that kind of stunk for the time because that was my goal and my dream. But I heard about this thing called TikTok, and I had done a little bit of posting here and there beforehand my senior year just to kind of get a understanding of social media and digital marketing. I majored in graphic design and marketing in college, so that's kind of like the background that I come from anyways. And so I really enjoy social media and I enjoy posting, and the idea of like growing an audience, and I wanted to test that out to see if I had what it took in a sense to be able to do that for myself now that I had the time to do that. And I realized very quickly that there was a niche for Lego. I was primarily posting art related videos before that because I was trying to grow an account to
Yeah.
sell art, and I saw like a business model out of that. But then I posted one video with like a small Lego mock that I made years ago, showing that you can make art out of anything, and anything can be your medium, even Lego bricks. And that got 40K views, which was way more than any of those videos got beforehand. And I'm like, okay, let's try to replicate this. Let's make something else Lego. Let's like show my collection or like have me holding my Death Star or something else. And that did not as well, but well enough to prove that, okay, there is consistency behind this. And at the time I wasn't living at home, but I was ready to move back home. And having my collection opened up to me again allowed me to post consistently like 5 times a day. At first, I don't do that anymore because I kind of learned what quality was over time, and that kind of propelled me into the like full on Lego direction because it just kept growing and growing and growing until we are where we are today. And like, I don't know, I think the biggest things that I remember the past couple of years have been like meeting new people and getting to talk to folks like you guys. So like, I really do appreciate you having me on and getting to talk about this, because I never really had a ton of friends growing up, obviously, that I could talk Lego with, a few here and there, but this has opened up like a whole new world in terms of like people that you can really, pun intended, connect with.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's been the coolest part of it all.
Matt.
Oh man. Plus, we're all studs anyway. So
See yourself out.
I'm sorry. I'll see myself out.
Well done.
I
So
think
hope
that's
that
honestly
long-winded
similar for us
response.
Mm.
I hope that answered your question.
No, absolutely, yeah. Yeah. I also appreciate seeing the consistency because I listened to your Republic Studs interview previously, and that's just so you're same over there. So
Yep. Same story.
I was like, okay, we're clicking the same points here.
Yep. We're clicking the same points here.
Oh gosh dang it.
So now, Matt, as a content creator, what do you focus on? Like, what is Matt Mellish's content for those who don't know?
Right. So I typically post now once a day. I'm not doing the Matt dance anymore. So
I know.
I was posting.
I was posting. You mean you're not a dance TikTok?
No. Okay,
Oh,
to
man.
clarify, that was all about showing people that like no matter what it is that you are passionate about, if you are dedicated enough to something, you can, like, even if you're bad at it, like, do it well and be successful within it. But I think I've kind of already proven that with Lego anyways, and it was fun to do for a while and make a fool out of myself somewhat. But it was a lot of fun while it lasted. I'm glad it's over.
I can imagine. I was hearing that song in my dreams sometimes.
Yeah, me too. My nightmares, not my dreams.
I'm sure.
They play the unremixed version of it at my like main job, and I hear it, and I all I think about is I'm like, Matt dance.
Yeah. You start doing the moves. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Oh, but coming back. So I post around once a day, and it's either, I think the best way to put it is whatever is going on Lego wise for me, like whatever I'm excited to talk about, whatever I'm excited to show, that's what I'm trying to make videos on. I think a lot of people start making videos after a while that they know their audience is going to want, and I do that as well, because obviously like the community is important and what your audience wants is super important. But I think if I didn't make as many videos as I do for me, I wouldn't still be doing it the same like way that I am, because I think like part of being a content creator is really like enjoying what you do, because it's very easy to get burned out. I'm sure you all know this. I think it's something that as content creators we all struggle through, that and being a perfectionist. So at a certain point, like there's only so many videos I can post a day, and I figured that out over time as well. But I try to just post about what I'm passionate about and what I know that people are going to want to see, kind of balancing the two out. Because obviously something like Secret Agent Matt videos, where I focus on like one Lego part in my collection and take it back to where that part began, and like the journey of finding out that information, and then like maybe in the future rebuilding that set. That's really like a lot of fun for people, and it's a lot of fun for me. Although it takes quite a significant amount of time to be able to produce. So balance it all out is super important. I mean, I post like short form review type videos every once in a while. I have some sponsorships with Zavvi and Entertainment Earth, and now LAN. They're not really a sponsorship, but like it's a partnership to help me like do more with my content. I post kind of just like funny trending sound videos as well. Those can either hit or miss with views.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, big time.
it's easy content. And sometimes like if I'm giving tongue tied, if I'm giving someone a good laugh, that's all that matters. I try to create as much positivity with my content as I can, because obviously, not to bring us down too much here, but we do live in a dark world, and times are getting tougher every day, it feels like. So if I can bring a little bit of escapism to someone else's life, I'm more than happy to do that. And I feel like that's what's kept me creating content all along.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. And then I guess getting more into it. So how do you go about making a video? Like, how do you come up with ideas? And then how do you make that idea like happen?
I really like that question. I've never gotten that question before on a podcast. So this is something that I'm going to have to figure out how to answer as I go. But
you heard
so
it here, folks. New information from Matt
Never
Mellish.
before.
Yes.
We have an exclusive
We
here.
got the exclusive interview.
Yeah. These are good questions. So I think it all starts with the idea. I think the idea is the most important part of every video, because if you don't have a good idea, then the rest of the video is either going to be really hard to make, or it's just, you're not going to see it through to be its full potential. So, I mean, I also view that with Lego sets. Like, if they don't have a good idea for a Lego theme or a Lego set, it's not going to be that great of a set for me. So, if I start with the idea, then I kind of plan out in my head what that looks like. I can kind of see it before I do it and try to picture out how I want it to look. I was a graphic designer and I love fine art as well. So I think that's like just the visual part of my mind, the way I work. So whether that's making a script or like trying to get the right camera angle, if it's a trending video, like I'll try to do something honestly like 50,000 times before I get to the point where I like it.
Same. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm glad we can all relate. I tested a lot of different camera angles. I try to get my expressions right. I try to get the vibe right. And I think that's also something that a lot of people might miss. When you're creating content, the persona that you give, the energy that you're displaying is just as important, I think, as the idea. Because you have to be in it, and you have to want people to be just as excited as you are to be making that content. And if you're not, then they're going to know, and it's going to feel fake, because TikTok is so authentically driven as a platform, and people can sniff out what's real and what's not. And I've kind of struggled with that sometimes too, because wanting to be someone who is positive, you're not positive every day, and you don't want to fake it. But at the same time, you want to give people the content that they deserve to watch and that you want to make. So I try to, like I said, get the idea right, get the vibe right, make sure everything matches up, like nuts and bolts wise, with camera angles, with the editing, et cetera, with the audio, and then trying to figure out, discern, do I need to add text to this? Is this something that can work without text? And eventually hitting post. Eventually, after 50,000 retries.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, I know. I feel like the people in my house are used to hearing me say like the same one line 15 times in a row. I'm like, hit record, and I'm like, let's build, blah blah blah. And like, I didn't like how I said, let's build, over and over.
And then you eventually go back to the first take.
I know.
Always
For me, I would look at it and it's like either the very first one or the last one was the best one. Everything in the middle is garbage.
Yep.
For me, the hardest part for me, and I don't know why, is always doing a voiceover. Every time. It takes so long, and I don't understand why that is yet. I'm trying to figure it out, but like it doesn't come naturally to me. It's not the way like I talk. I'm trying to like work on it for myself, but it takes so long. And I think it is trying to, like I said, get the energy right when I am delivering.
Do you
That's funny
record
because I like voiceovers better.
Really? Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I feel like I enjoy making the voiceover better than when I'm recording. I feel
Crazy.
unnatural when I'm looking at the camera and I can see myself.
That's
do you
awesome
record,
for you, though.
do you record your voiceovers in the app, or do you separately record them and put them into it, or
So that's a good question. I guess
just
that's a
curious? I'm
nuts and
sorry.
bolts
Yeah,
question. No, of
kind of
course,
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, no. And I hope like if anybody's watching who is creating content, or even you guys, like you can find value out of this. So I typically at the start I would do everything in TikTok until last year when I was like, you know what? I really want to upgrade what I'm doing. I really want to take everything to the next level and just kind of do a quality overhaul in terms of production. But that's when I started using my camera, which is like, believe me, you don't need this camera to create content. This is perfectly fine.
Is it a DSLR?
I have a Nikon Z6 for photography,
Nice.
just
Yeah.
like regular photo shooting, because that's something I enjoy as well. And it, works nicely as the content creation camera as well. So I'll shoot everything with that if I want to on that day. If that's something that I'm doing a review on and you want really a detailed look of it, that's what I'll use it for. Then I take everything into Premiere. That's when I'll add the effects, the voiceovers, all of the good stuff like that.
So you do that on your on a laptop or what is that?
So I need to really upgrade. I'm just gonna see, like, I can have the highest quality camera and the lowest quality laptop, and we're perfectly fine. So I have an old MacBook that I've had like since junior year of college. As a graphic design major, I'm an Apple guy, so like that's what I've stuck with. I really need to upgrade. Like,
what year is that one?
I don't know.
Because I was just saying you're in good company. Because so I'll give you context. Mine, I attended Berkeley College of Music, and we all received a laptop that was a MacBook Pro. I got a 15-inch in the year 2007. 2007.
Okay.
This sucker is still running. Okay. So I have my 2007 MacBook Pro.
Sounds like a motorboat.
Oh man, I know, right? It's like a jet engine taking off if it gets too hot. So I built actually like some supports out of Lego that elevate it up and give it room for it to circulate air. I've replaced the battery on it 4 times. I've got my 2007 MacBook Pro. My wife had a 2013 model that I now have appropriated because we bought her a new MacBook Air. But what Maticus Bricks, you're using an older model, and then Brick Chef is also using an older MacBook Pro, right?
Yeah,
or MacBook Air. He's got
I use a
Air.
2018 MacBook Air. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Mine, I think, is older than that. Ugh.
Yeah.
I think mine is like a 2017 or 2018 around that.
See,
so it's not
that bad.
Too old. But honestly, I think the older models might have been better. Because this, every once in a while, like with all technology, it feels like there's a ticking time bomb in it. Like as soon as a new one comes out, the bomb goes off and it's time to get a new one. So I think we're getting to that point with the one that I'm using, which is very frustrating, but it works for now for what I need it for. And until I'm kind of established in a home studio setting. I mean, I've been renting this apartment for the last year, and I'm staying until May at least. But until I'm somewhere that I know I'm going to be for a while, I'm not going to upgrade to the next desktop or laptop.
So to that point, Matt, actually, I was going to say that I don't know what yours came with, and I don't know how technologically savvy you are in terms of like nuts and bolts of computers, but if you upgrade your hard drive to a solid state drive, you will see a marked improvement in speed and performance on your laptop. I mean, it is significant. When I upgraded my 2007 MacBook Pro to a solid state drive, 500 gigabyte solid state drive, I mean, it boots up in about 10 seconds. That's faster than my iPhone that was bought last year. 10-second boot to the login screen. And then I also upgraded the RAM to 8 gigabytes, which is much more than what it came with. So those are two things that you can do as an end user, especially when you're outside of AppleCare anyway. So sorry to get on a tangent there, but if you don't feel comfortable with that, I mean, I'm sure you can find somebody who would, because those are like some of the like easiest and least expensive upgrades you can do that will inject an enormous amount of performance into your existing laptop. So it can get you a long ways, if you're waiting to upgrade. So anyway,
I've never even thought of that. That's a
yeah,
really
it's
good
huge.
idea.
It's huge. Yeah.
You guys are talking
Yeah.
technology, and my head is spinning.
Yeah,
I'm like,
sorry.
like the kid in Charlie Brown with the teacher. Wah, wah, like,
Wah,
it's just-
wah, yeah.
it's really
Oh,
insightful
man.
knowledge there, Mr. Cooper.
Yeah.
So
I know what you're
I try.
saying. I know what you're saying, but like I don't have the technological knowledge to know to do that.
Yeah.
But I know I don't know how to do it, but I can figure it out.
You get the concept.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yep. So I would highly recommend it. What I did is I cloned my original hard drive with an external like dock that I put it in, and then my new one I was able to make the exact duplicate of it, put it in, put it all back together, and it booted up exactly like it was before, only like it was brand new. So pretty sweet.
That's
Anyway,
great.
so I'm so sorry to get us off on a big old tangent there, but I
Aw,
mean, for
that's what the
anybody
fun
who's
of this is.
listening to exactly, and I mean, a lot of us out there listening are likely into content creation and what goes into like what kind of stuff do you need, so
Right.
sometimes you can kind of make it work longer. But so we did have a actually back on topic question here. So right, like as collectors. I feel like there's so much good Lego out there that I mean, we don't always get to get the things that we want. And there's only a finite amount of time, money, physical space to put it in. There's sometimes we miss opportunities. Do you have then, as a collector, a white whale or a holy grail type of set out there that you wish that you had and you have not had the opportunity to get? I know you mentioned the ATOT and whatnot, but is there something out there that is like the one?
So I think for me, excuse me, there are some sets that I really would like to get eventually for like myself as a collector. When I was a kid, I was always on eBay looking at retired Lego Star Wars sets and watching the prices over the years, especially skyrocket for certain ones. And
yes,
this past year, I had the chance to get the Jango Fett Slave 1 sealed, which I haven't really made a lot of content showing or like explaining, but that was something that I had always seen that I really wanted, but never had the money for. And nowadays, it's really hard to even come by a sealed one. So, like, it was meaningful for me to buy it to keep kind of a piece of Lego history intact. And I'm not going to open it, of course. The guy who sold it to me actually said, if you decide that you're going to build this, I'm not selling it to you. Like, if that's what your intention is, I'm not selling it to you.
Whoa.
And I'm like, no, that's not my intention at all. So
it's like
I want to get a
the
case
protective dad of his daughter. Like,
Yep.
"What are your intentions with my kid?"
What are your intentions with my Lego set?
Well put. That's a good analogy.
The slave one will not be defiled.
Oh my goodness.
Oh man.
So I got my Jango Fett Slave 1, and that was a big one for me. But I think the ultimate, and it's the same for a lot of people. I'm not just saying this because of the hype. It's the same with Jango Fett Slave 1. Like, I had seen these sets as a kid when I first got into it, but I really would like Cloud City. Like, obviously, it's so much money in the aftermarket right now. But I think someday it'll come down from that 10K price. I hope.
Yeah. Maybe. One day.
Obviously, the dropship in ATOT, being a huge Clone Wars fan and not having the chance to get that set. I got the Venator last year. Well, a version of the Venator as an old fixer-upper. At the same time when I wrecked my car going to pick that thing
right.
up.
I remember that.
So,
dedication
it's always
to Lego.
a wild time. Exactly. It's always a wild time being a Lego collector. You never know what's going to happen and where the road's going to take you. But
Literally,
like, those are a few that I would really, really like. Yeah, exactly.
Excellent choices, Matt. So this is the spicy question, Matt. Are you ready for this? Do you have any controversial Lego opinions?
Oh,
anything you can disclose?
Can you give me like a topic? Like, what would it relate to? I'm trying to think here.
Yeah, so how about, is there maybe a set or theme that everybody thinks is great that you're, not as into? Or on the flip side, something that you think is great that is underrated?
I'm so vanilla. Like in terms of
We gotta pull out the spicy, not the vanilla. We need the chocolate. We need the strawberry. We need to find the mint chocolate chip.
trying to think.
Maybe pistachio. Get real nutty here.
Oh my gosh.
See, I feel like I had a lot of, I don't know, like with the sets that I wish that I had in my collection. I feel like I'm pretty normal, but I also feel like I have those opinions before everybody else, or at least like before the internet, when we talked about it all together. Like when we've come up with like, okay, this is the set that everybody wants. That's why I feel like I'm kind of average in terms of everything. But on like being a Lego Star Wars fan, that's so mainstream. I'm a big Marvel fan. That's pretty mainstream because the Marvel films are so big. But in terms of like Lego sets, like I feel like me liking the Death Star, not maybe as a model. I mean, it's a fun model. I know a lot of people just call it like a dollhouse, a big round dollhouse. I don't know. I like it. I like play sets. Maybe that's one thing that like sets me apart from other people. Whereas a lot of people seem to like UCS sets. I like the ones that are location based, weirdly enough, because I enjoy like the idea of a plastic minifigure and myself being put into that form, going through the area. Like I think that's so cool. Here's
Yes.
one though, for you, Maticus.
Oh, good.
You already know this one, but I've realized that this isn't something that's just particular. It's more particular to me than it is to a larger community, which is stickers. I hate stickers.
Yeah.
I disdain stickers. And
That
it's
is your
not
number
just
one pet peeve.
yes, it is. It's not just because like I hate them to hate them. It's literally they take the value away from a set, right? For me at least. Not that I'm ever looking to resell or like I don't know, tear it apart and rebuild it.
Right.
And then usually I keep things on display. It's the fact that over time they erode. And I've realized this being, I don't know, I live kind of up north in Pennsylvania. So in the summers, they're kind of hot, usually if you're on a second floor. And in the winters, if your heat is going, the cold outside combined with the warmth inside, it's not good. It's not good for stickers. Let's just say that. They'll crack. They'll come off the set. It'll look awful. And you can never get those stickers back. You can never reapply them. You can, kind of in a way. You have to be very meticulous in peeling them off and reapplying them and fixing them. But if someone makes a terrible mistake when placing a sticker, of course, at the time you can go to Lego and you can get another one, maybe. But as someone who's a secondhand collector as well, you're not necessarily going to get prime sticker placement. And like I said, those are sometimes nearly impossible to fix. So I know Mr. Obi-Wan Kenobrix has I think a similar perspective to me that we talked about kind of briefly.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the newer stickers that have been starting to roll out in the last generation of Lego, they are a significantly higher quality than the ones that I think have probably really tainted our perspective generationally on stickers. A prime example for me is my 2002 Republic gunship. I mean, it's just like almost breaks you to look at. Like, if you look closely, there are cracks in some of the stickers. On a couple of the spots, they actually started to lift to where the crack broke off, basically. And I had really only two choices: either remove the sticker or apply masking tape. Or not masking, but like Scotch tape. And unfortunately, I did try to find one that was of archive quality. I used to work in an archive when I was in college, and so I know what tape yellows over time. You don't want that, but
Right.
yeah, it sucks. There's no other good way to put it. It really sucks, and there's no recreation of that sticker. You can't get that on the aftermarket. And try finding one on Bricklink. You pay probably $90 for a sticker sheet from 2002. That seems ridiculous to me. I mean, just like from an outside perspective, I'm sure that's like, no. But yeah, I mean,
Right.
I'm with you. I'm with you. They stink. But I think that, we will only know in maybe 5 or 10 years what the quality of the current stickers are, because there was notedly just something bad about the production quality of those stickers from probably around 2001 through
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
He's frozen.
Gone.
He is frozen.
He's lost to the void.
Oh,
sorry,
he's back.
he's vaporized there.
Wow.
I'm so sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
Thanos.
Yeah.
Thanos snap.
So bad that it made me leave the podcast.
Wow. It was like your opinion is terrible.
No,
You can't talk
I
anymore.
apologize about that. Technical difficulties, but yeah,
So-
we'll only know what the quality is, in like 5 or 10 years, whether these ones will last or
Really
not.
point.
So,
So now, Matt, I actually have a follow-up question for you.
Okay.
I don't personally share your disdain for stickers. I understand where it comes from, but I think that with stickers today, we get so many detailed pieces that go into these sets. I'm currently building the Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum, and there's 2 sticker sheets. So many little details, Easter eggs. You're gonna love it. I mean, it's 2 sticker sheets. Would you rather?
Hey, just make sure you have them both when you start. I was missing one of my sticker
oh,
sheets.
you were
I-
missing a whole sheet, yeah.
Yes.
My question is, would you rather that Lego forego so many of these details in the sets to just have a couple of printed parts, or have it be as it is with all of these great little Easter eggs and details that realistically they just can't produce printed parts for everything? Would you rather have the way it used to be with like 1 or 2 printed parts per set?
I'm a weirdo. I'm just gonna put that out there. I love printed pieces, but you know what I really like even more? The creativity that goes into like building something with bricks. Like, I don't think that something just has to be printed on in order for it to capture the appropriate detail. For me, if something is well designed, it doesn't even need that. And that's also part of the reason why I really dislike stickers. I'm glad you asked that, because it helps me like hammer in this point too, which is it feels like an excuse. What's that one?
Matt is showing
Oh,
something
yeah.
on screen here.
So like
Something that can't be
you can't build
built.
this. Right.
That's
this
where
has
I'm
log
like- I'm
sticker
like-
stuff. It's a really
I'm
fun
talking
little
like
Easter
keyboard or
egg.
something, yeah.
And this makes my experience of building the set so much more enjoyable because
Right.
it's there. So I would rather it be
No, I
there
hear
than
you.
not.
I hear you.
But anyway.
And I think like there are some unique cases like that where it's very easy to print on a 2x2 tile. I feel like maybe I'm wrong. But
there are so many of them in this set.
right. I would rather less and have them be printed than to
I hear
have
ya.
a ton of stickers, because it feels like
Right.
the more stickers we get, the less prints we get. And even on something like a UCS plaque, I know that they've recently announced that they're going to be doing the ones for Star Wars printed, which
Printed?
I'm very
That's great.
excited about. Very excited about. But like, I just feel like it's an excuse for them to not have to print something.
I would argue with, so where you said that the more stickers the less printed, I don't think that necessarily it's a zero-sum game there. That the way that the production goes into it and the way that the storage of the individual pieces, it's not necessarily that if they make more stickers, they don't produce as many printed pieces, because really for the set as a whole, it comes down to how many individual different types of pieces do we have, and we need to like have an individual place for each of these pieces to go when
Right.
it's in production. I think they can still have a decent number of printed pieces, and especially when you come into things like a windscreen that needs to have printing on it in order to show that detail, they're not going to sticker that in most cases. But I understand where you're coming from for sure.
Yeah. I guess if something is in the set that has to be there and it's not in, how about this, Maticus? We'll compromise on this one.
Compromise.
If it's an Easter egg, and it doesn't have to be there in order to make the set like look like what it should be accurately, I'm fine with it being stickered. If something doesn't look accurate without the sticker or a print or whatever it is, then like it should be printed for me. Or it should
That's
be
fair. I think that is actually a fair compromise, and I would like to see that. Like, I do agree that when you have a certain detail that is so integral to the identity of the set, and then that's stickered, I'm not terribly happy with these doors being stickered, for instance. I would rather these been brick built in some way. So I understand where you're coming from.
You're hurting me.
I'm sorry.
This set now.
Sorry.
I was very excited to build
fantastic.
it. I was very excited to build it, and now I'm just a little less excited.
Oh, wait till you get to the
Oh, man.
rotunda of gateways on the
Oh,
second
boy.
floor. Just big stickers on 1x6 panels.
Well, the thing is, guys, I don't put stickers on my sets.
Oh, you
At all?
I don't think you're gonna be able to get away with that on this one.
Really?
Yeah,
It's
no,
just
you're not.
there's too much that the stickers add. Like,
The stickers are actually. Some of these prints are gorgeous. I'm telling you, they're
yeah,
so
you're not
gorgeous.
gonna be able to not. Like, I couldn't review the set until I got my second sticker sheet because it was missing so much without it.
Well,
You're
like I
hurting me.
built the even the little Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter had like 18 stickers on it, and I can't imagine what it would look like without them, because it's like that's all the detail. And I compared it with the original from 2002, and I'm like, literally everything on it was printed, and there were like a lot of printed pieces on that set, a lot.
So in the past, I don't know, probably 10 years of collecting, I've not put a single sticker on a set. I mean, maybe one or two, like here and there, like, but at the same, like, if I know, I don't know, I think I might have put them in my Death Star, but usually I don't, because unless the set is really meaningful to me and I want it to be exactly the way it's supposed to look on display, then I'll do it. But for me
Wow.
personally, it takes away the idea too that you can, not that I have or will, but I think Lego is all about being able to make something else out of your creation, and I think stickers kind of take away from that.
That's
Well,
a
there's your
fair
controversial opinion.
I know.
Wow.
Hey, we
Yeah.
weren't expecting
That's
that.
a great answer, really,
I'm-
honestly. Yeah.
I'm not going to take my finger off the pulse of that, because, like,
No,
I don't
same.
know. Like, it's one thing that really is my pet peeve when it comes to Lego, and I see a future where everything could be printed. Not that they ever will, or maybe even should, but like for me personally, I would love it if they could.
Interesting.
I can see that. It's a good segue to our next question, actually.
It sure
Like I
is.
said, I'm a weirdo though.
What? Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on the current state of Lego and the Lego community?
Oh wow, we're really getting into the deep end here, folks. So overall community, TikTok Lego community.
Let's do TikTok.
Make it a little more focused.
Okay. Because I think the overall Lego community has been and will continue to be, I hope it gets better, but it seems very divided among the different, like, I'm not going to call them cliques, but it's fun to call it that because it's a Lego pun. But so I think that, there's the YouTube group, and there's the TikTok group, there's the bloggers, there's all these different, there's lugs, there's all these different groups that don't necessarily cross over very well. And I wish that could be better. It's the same with themes. Like, there's the Ninjago people, there's the Star Wars people. There's the Castle people. There's the Marvel people. There's all these different factions, we'll call them. And I wish that like they could overlap a bit better. And the beauty of going to a convention is that's literally what it is it's an opportunity to go and meet other people. And it's a shame when you go to one of those and it seems like people in certain communities aren't trying to mingle and mix. I remember like, I don't know, at Brick Fair, Virginia, I wish that I would have spent more time with the Bionicle people. Like, I mean, I'm not necessarily really interested in Bionicle, but I wish I would have taken more time to say hello to those guys because they have a different perspective than I do, and I would have loved to gain some insight. But TikTok specifically, I really think that group, that segment of the larger LEGO community is very special, not only to me, but as a whole. Because I know Mr. Brick Chef and Mr. Obi-Wan Kenobrix, you guys didn't have the chance to attend Brick Fair Virginia this past year, but Maticus and I did. And I think you could also attest to the fact that was truly such a great experience, not only for us, but like to connect with the larger LEGO community and kind of make somewhat of a statement and show people like how open we really are to everyone else. And I think that that's kind of like what's missing in the larger community that I just pointed out. I wish that everybody could come together as much as we did in that moment. And I think the future is bright for it because we're kind of setting the bar in that situation, in that circumstance. And people, I think, are taking more note than it might feel like at times. TikTok also feels very pushed aside, but as we've all seen, there is a LEGO account on TikTok with a blue check mark.
Yes, that's true.
The future is also very bright for that. I don't know. We're all very positive people. There's not been too much drama.
There's been a little bit.
There's some stuff
just a little bit here and there.
We all,
but at the same time, we're pretty mature people. We're not very petty. And I think for the people that have been in the past, if there were any, they aren't very. They're not still around, and if they are around, they like come in and out. They're not really a part of the larger group as a whole.
They don't have a big voice.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a very positive environment because we are so connected as well as content creators, and we're kind of setting the bar for other people in the community. In terms of overall LEGO vision, I really am concerned, in all honesty, about some things, while at the same time I'm very excited about others. So one thing that I'm very excited about is the fact that you look at something like the Eiffel Tower, how much detail, the amount of scale that you can get with sets nowadays. The technology has upgraded to the point where we can get super detailed builds. Something like the duck from the Lego house, the 3D printed duck, is very cool to think about, like what that might mean for the future going forward as well in terms of the playability aspects, since the beak can actually quack.
I want that
as it
piece more
moves.
than I can express.
I don't know how I feel about the 3D printed quality of it, but I think, this is just a test, and I can see going forward how cool things could get. The detail with minifigures is immaculate and something that people have always dreamed of. But with that being said, my problem with it is that my fear is that it could lead to, and I'm not saying that it is, but I'm saying that it could, the more you get into that, move away from what LEGO is. And what LEGO is to me, and I think to a lot of people, is something that is very simple, very playable, something that anybody can appreciate from all ages, and something that inspires creativity. And it feels like something like, I'm trying to think, maybe the Eiffel Tower, the Hulk Buster, the Black Panther bust. Those sorts of things, to me, don't hold those values, and instead it's beginning to focus on the adult market too much. And although I am an AFOL, and so are all of you guys, I think there's a certain appreciation that I also have for play sets. And
Right.
I don't want kids growing up in this generation not having the same fun that I did when I was a kid buying the play sets that I did, because they can't afford these huge, super detailed models that aren't playable. They're not meant to be played with. They're meant to sit on a shelf. And when you go to a Lego store and you see all these black boxes, it's just a wall of darkness, as I kind of think of it as. And I don't really like that. That hurts me a little bit. But at the same time, I do see that there has been somewhat of a balance. I'm just concerned that it could start going into that direction more. I'm not saying that it will. I'm not saying that the future of Lego is very dark. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that like too far in one direction is never a good thing, and you need a balance.
I can see that.
On that?
Really great.
Yeah.
I want to say, like, not that I can speak for every kid, but personally, I remember when Lego did start doing the larger collector style models, big vehicles, the original UCS Imperial Star Destroyer. I would look at stuff like that as a kid and not have a darndest bit of interest. And I want, because they weren't minifigure scale, because they weren't play sets, because it was very clearly something that was a display model. So I wonder, I mean, they have certainly gotten a lot more interesting models than they did maybe back then, and there's a lot more diversity. But I wonder if a lot of kids would look at that and be like, no, I'd rather have this little Ninjago mech that I can play with and does things than the Black Panther bust that goes on the wall. You know, I feel like maybe that's something kids are going to see and be like, I don't care about that at all.
Right.
So I don't know. That's just my thought.
I would echo that too. I mean, for me, just thinking about the level of detail that is in even the play scale sets now feels to me like it's something where maybe we are setting up the kids who, you know, the play sets are geared toward, for not being able to recreate necessarily the same kind of stuff with their own pieces. Because I mean, to me, okay, I went through a dark age, and I came back to Lego and I was like, the heck are all these pieces? Like, I didn't know what some of these things were. Legitimately, I was like, what? I mean, like, literally the only snob pieces we had were a Travis brick, a headlight, or like the one little bracket that has 4 on the side and 2 on the top. That was it. That's literally it. Now, I mean, everything is sideways. Everything is like such a high level of detail that I as a kid, I can't imagine like what I would be comparing my own stuff with. Whereas growing up in the 90s, you know, I can make that. You know, I'm looking at any picture of Lego out there in the Lego magazine and thinking, oh, I can do that. And I don't want to take away the I can do that from kids today. My daughter collects Lego, and she's 8 years old. And I see her actually struggle with like how to envision what to make, because like the sets that we get her, you know, they're designed for her age range, but the style is in such a way that it's almost like, unless you're a Lego designer, you're not going to be able to come up with that. You're not going to be able to do that on your own. And so then you like have this almost like you get down on yourself because like, well, what I build is just like, you know, 1x4 bricks, you know, and so I don't know. I mean, I understand where you're coming from with that. I would hate to see, you know, too much of a swing in one direction over another. I like that we're embracing AVOL for sure. Like, as I am one, but you know, it's also like, please, we got to embrace,
Remember
you know,
the
a little
kids.
bit of blockiness. And a really good case in point for me, like not even of the play scale size, is like this brand new set, the Wakanda Forever. We're talking about the bust, right?
Black Panther
Okay,
bust.
compare that Black Panther bust with the Darth Maul Ultimate Collector Series bust from 2001. Oh my goodness. That was Ultimate Collector Series back then, and it's literally just bricks.
Yeah.
It's just bricks, man.
Yeah.
And we love it.
It's so
I
cool.
know. Yeah, I'm actually
Yeah.
about
huge project.
70% through collecting all the pieces for it. Parting it out on Brick
Good.
Bank. Sorry for all the noise.
Did you get the half cylinders?
No, because they're like $50 each. They were only
that's
ever
the
made
hard
in that
part of
color
that
in that set. Yeah.
I think there was one other one. I think there was one other one. I can't remember exactly what it was, but yeah.
Was it really? Yeah. Yeah. Still.
Mr. Brick Chef, what do you...
Ogle set.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Mr. Brick Chef, what are your thoughts on the future of Lego in terms of what
I will just say, in my opinion, Lego is definitely turning into an adult company. and a for adult company. There's a lot of things that make me think that and believe that. Can't get into them right now, but that is my general opinion, is that Lego is very much turning into an adult-oriented company. We're kind of switching. It seems like we're going into like almost a designer route. Like it is a designer toy. It is not just a toy. It's a designer toy.
Gucci Lego.
Yeah, there's a level of exclusivity. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Do you get the new Michael Kors Lego set?
Well, and the price certainly goes along with that too. Like as a kid, it's hard for me, and I'm sure like inflation has changed things, et cetera, et cetera. But like you don't have a job, you don't have like income that's regularly coming in. Your family could be very blessed, and you could be blessed in that sense as well, and receive a lot of Lego and other toys for your birthday or for Christmas or whenever. Just normally, you could get an allowance. I didn't have those luxuries. Most of the stuff that I bought or that I have in my collection, I bought. That's just like how it was for me growing up, and I'm kind of grateful for it because it's taught me the value of a dollar, like I've said before. But I'm concerned that kids nowadays won't have the same experience and be able to afford the toys that that we grew up loving so much.
Yep. It's
I will
Oscar
say,
de Lego Renta.
I think less and less
Lego Baton.
less and less kids are getting these large sets. I mean, they sell. They definitely make Lego a lot of money. It's not kids buying this stuff.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Do you think that there should be an
kids.
adults only lounge in the back of the Lego store? You know,
I'll hang out a little back room hangout.
Keep them behind the velvet curtain. They have to ID you as you go in. You know, they're keeping the real.
Man. Yes.
Absolutely. We're all sitting in smoking jackets. It's like
they have a full bar.
Yes.
You know,
I agree with that part. Yeah. Hey, so we're running short on our time here toward the end of our stream, but as we kind of narrow down to the end of our list here, it's been really such a joy talking with you today, and I wish we could go on talking longer, honestly, but we have just a couple more things to kind of cover, and so we wanted to ask. This is kind of an interesting question. I think if you liked our other questions, you like this one. But what theme that has not been created by Lego would you like to see Lego create if it was possible? Not even necessarily something that they would even do.
Yeah, like it could be some adult movie, like an
exactly.
movie that you want to see. Not like that, but like a Die Hard Lego set, a Die Hard home Lego theme dedicated to Die Hard.
So our question then is theme and then also a specific minifigure that does not exist. It's a two-part question there.
Does not have to be from the theme that you choose.
Right, exactly.
I don't
could be totally separate.
I don't like this question. This is a hard question. I've gotten this before on a live stream, and I honestly didn't know how to answer it. There are so many Lego themes that I would love to come back. I think rather than be made, Pirates of the Caribbean, Indiana Jones, stuff like that. Just like franchises that I love. But if Lego were to do a new theme, it wouldn't be necessarily new, but if they would make it an official series, this is very particular to me and what I enjoy, but I think it would apply to a lot of other people, and I think that it would sell well. Let me know what you think. But here's my pitch. Well, actually, I have two pitches because I guess you could do Lego ideas with either of these. Really, any Disney attraction. So, like being able to build out an entire Disney park, I think would be really cool. Having the Tree of Life, the Epcot Ball, the Tower of Terror, the Jungle Cruise set, like all of the attractions that you can think of in Walt Disney World, and then like building it out from the castle that they've made in the past in the train. I think that would be really cool. As a Disney fan, I would love to see that. And you could make them extremely playable. And like I'm sure a lot of people would create their own like Disney theme park or like within their own Lego city have that. Or I think it would be really cool this is really, really nerdy, but like as a fan of like musicals and theater, I think it would be cool to have this is a Lego idea project that I have had in my mind that I've never been able to construct, but like a Broadway stage that you build, and then different packs that allow you to transform the stage into different shows.
That's cool. My gosh. Yeah.
That's so
Very,
cool.
very
Buildable
cool.
Broadway. I love it.
Get it on
Right.
ideas right now.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, absolutely.
I would
yeah.
love to, and I'm sure somebody one day will steal my idea, and I'll say it was me. I came up with that, and I'll point to this podcast as being the place where that happens.
That's right.
But
yeah. Proof.
I love building mocks. I never have the time to, and part of that is like me just saying that and that being an excuse. But it's not putting the effort into like doing mocking enough. But yeah, I would love to post that to Lego Ideas. One minifigure that I would love to be made. I don't think we have enough historical like figures in Lego, like real historical figures.
Abraham Lincoln.
I think that would be. I think we have kind of a variation of. Was there a variation of Abraham Lincoln with like the Lego movie or something?
Yep.
I was thinking the Vampire Hunter one.
Yeah, he's got, like a Lego CMF figure.
No, but
Was
there
it?
is
Oh,
the
yeah.
actual. Well, this is the variation, but they did make the original Abraham Lincoln also.
Oh my goodness.
Can't find him.
Oh wow, that's so funny.
I think it would be cool to have like a CMF line with like historical figures, and it could be like globally, like it could apply to everybody. It doesn't have to be just like American.
Oh yeah, Shakespeare.
We need more of those.
I
Need
have
more of
Julius
those.
Caesar somewhere too.
That's
I
awesome.
like that Jane Goodall tribute, and then they had the women,
Yeah.
the women in science.
Yes.
Those are so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Women
yeah.
in STEM and women in NASA.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, if I were to go with one figure though, that's really tough. It'd probably be something from Star Wars. I'm just gonna like throw that out there. Like probably like some random clone trooper that like you guys would know. Like I don't even know what it is and all. Maybe like a Gregor minifigure, like from the
Okay.
Clone Wars. I think that would be really cool, like a clone commando. But if I could just snap my fingers and have it be made, there are like I have more ideas like the minifigure lines though. Like having how do I put this? Celebrity songwriters. That just be like its own
Yeah,
minifig
CMF
line.
pack. Yeah.
Wow, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Get the
not
Ed
even just
Sheeran
current.
minifig.
Yeah, and or like an Elvis or
Stevie
I don't know.
Nicks,
With the Beatles.
Yeah,
Madonna.
exactly.
Oh, I'm throwing
Taylor
that one out there.
Swift.
Taylor
How many
Swift.
people would want a Taylor Swift minifigure?
Yeah,
Okay, that's the
all
one
of
I'm
the
going
people.
with. That's
All
the
of
one.
the people. Yeah,
Taylor
my
Swift
wife just
fell
got
out
tickets for
instantly.
that. Actually, the wait was
Nice.
like 9 hours in a virtual queue or something like that. So,
Oh my gosh.
woo!
I'm shocked, honestly, that she even got a ticket. I know that like websites were
Yeah.
crashing in order.
Yeah,
to
yeah, because Ticketmaster
sustain
made
that.
all of them available at the same time for pre-order.
Crazy.
Somebody got fired, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
General admission sale goes on until Friday, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was only the
The
I don't know,
presale.
like yeah, whatever. Yeah, I don't know stuff.
All right. So to wrap our
Yes.
show up, we have a speed round of questions. They're going to be
Oh,
this
no.
or that question. So it'll be super easy, real fast. I think we're all just
Yes.
going to
Super easy.
transition through them. I'm
Yeah.
going to start
Yes.
them out. And our
As
first one
least
is
thought possible.
yeah, Boba Fett or Jango Fett?
Boba Fett.
Hamburger or pizza?
Pizza.
Mega Constructs or Playmobil?
Oh. Mega. Oh, Mega.
Is that hard to say?
A little bit. Just a little bit.
All right. Coke or Pepsi?
See.
Controversial opinion.
Follow the instructions or mock?
I wish I did it more. Mock.
Yeah.
This determines if we're still friends. Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings?
Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
Okay, good. We're still friends.
All right.
Okay.
Ian McGregor.
Honestly, I've not seen Game of Thrones. Go ahead.
It's worth
Neither
watching.
I.
But
Yeah, neither have I.
it's great. It's great.
Ewan McGregor or Alec Guinness?
Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
That hurts me
Oh,
to
it's
say.
okay. I know. We got the tough ones here. Okay, brick separator or teeth and fingernails?
There's nothing like old school, but if I'm
Little
going
both.
to use it, it's going to be a brick separator. Yeah, brick separator.
MCU or DCEU?
MCU.
Easy.
Xbox or PlayStation?
Ah, I use PlayStation, but I think Xbox is probably better. I'm gonna go with PlayStation because that was my original console.
And then finally, watch Building a Podcast live on YouTube or catch it later on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
YouTube.
Yeah. But they're both. Yeah. No shade.
Why not
yes.
both?
Yeah. Well,
Awesome.
that is
last
it.
one?
Yeah, you made it.
Yeah, you did it.
I made it through it.
Through the
That was
lightning round.
that was scary. That was hard.
was, yeah.
That was really
Yeah.
hard. But that was a lot of fun. I've never done that before, so very, very fun.
Well, we sure appreciate you being here today,
really
Matt.
do.
It was really nice talking with you. Real quick, we're going to give you a little opening here to let our viewers know where they can find you and on what socials and whatnot.
Sure. So you can find me on Whatnot. You can actually.
Yeah.
Use that affiliate code. So primarily I'm on TikTok. That's where I post daily, at least once a day, and I'm gonna continue doing that for as long as I can. YouTube, I'm working on getting back into the swing of things there. I've taken a little break, but I'm trying to trudge back into it and gain some momentum going forward with it. Especially being in LAN, I think that will help me want to pursue that more. It's all about time. That's the only reason that's happened that way. Instagram, I'm trying to post reels every once in a while, but I don't go too crazy because I think the algorithm prefers just kind of a little bit here and there and not the daily stuff. But yeah, I'm on Facebook as well. I have a Facebook page there too that I'm trying to grow and see where that takes me. And yeah, but I think that's it. You can find me on Whatnot. But thank you guys for having me on. It's been a pleasure and an honor to chat with you all. And I didn't get to meet Mr. Brick Chef beforehand, so this has been a lot of fun. And I know Thomas, Mr. Obi-Wan Kenobrix, we've talked before briefly last week. Maybe that was the week before. Time flies by.
2 weeks, 2 weeks ago.
Maticus, a pleasure as always. A pleasure as always.
It's been a long time, my dude.
Of course. And I wish the best for your podcast, and certainly will be one that I'm always tuning into in the future.
Thanks,
well, we
Matt.
appreciate it. Thank you.
Of course.
All right. I think that wraps things up, everybody. We will see you guys next week. Be sure to catch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts.